Are you planning to sell your house in 2024? Today we're going to talk about three of the biggest elements that sellers think about when putting their house on the market: marketing, price, and realtor commissions. Yo, I'm Adrienne, longtime Florida realtor, and I'm here to help you get your Florida life. Happy Wednesday, everyone. If you're new here, new videos come out every Wednesday. I do like to intersperse some other videos throughout the week, so subscribe to follow along. If you would like a free home valuation, you can sign up in the description below, or if you want to book an appointment with me, you can do that as well in the description below. The market at the end of 2023 and likely in 2024 is much different than it was a few years ago, when you could throw your house on the market and assume that it is going to sell. There's a little bit more to it these days. Today we're going to talk about three of the biggest elements. Again, marketing, price, and realtor commissions. If you find this helpful, I'd love for you to give it a like. If there's something that surprises you in this video or you have some questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on the market and what you're seeing out there. Next week is the end of the month. Like usual, I will do a full market update. We can go over the numbers together. Let's start with marketing your home. First, I want to ask you a very basic question, but it might make you pause for a second. What's one thing every seller needs to sell their home? A buyer. A buyer, you might even argue a buyer with money, a qualified buyer, but a buyer. You need a buyer who wants to buy your home. And that's where marketing comes in. There are two things I want you to understand when we talk about marketing. First, let's talk about buyers and buyers' behavior, and specifically our local buyers. And then we're going to talk about why we do marketing at all. And you might think you know the answer to this, but let's just play along, okay? First, let's talk about buyers' behavior. Some of you may know that I was a buyer's agent for years. That's how I started my career. I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of buyers. I understand the local buyer behavior. And what you need to know about it is that buyers come down here and they have limited time. They have 2 days, they have 3 days to see as many houses as they can. And they might also want to see their friends in Sarasota that they haven't seen in a few years. Then after they've come down for the initial visit, they may come 1 or 2 more times, but they often move nowadays into virtual showings. They're really trusting me to pick out houses for them or to say, hey, that's worth us doing a virtual showing. Now, even the people who are not relocators are really seeing less. I feel like looking at fewer houses, or it's harder to get them out of their house than it used to be because there's so much information online. Which brings me to why we do marketing at all. There is an old school belief, and I even know realtors who have this belief, but I disagree with this belief. I'm just going to tell you, you can leave in the comments if you think I'm wrong, that the only real thing we can do to market a house is to take nice pictures, to write a description, and then anyone really looking for a house like that is going to find it, and then they're going to buy it. Here's my argument to that. I have 2 points to it. First of all, if that were true, we would see no marketing left in the universe, because almost any product you buy, you could take a very nice picture of, you can write a description of, and you can stick it on Amazon. Yet, and I'll give you an example from my own life. Since I started this YouTube channel, I've had to buy all kinds of weird stuff that I would never, like microphones that I in my lifetime never thought I would purchase. And of course, I buy them on Amazon, and you go on Amazon and it'll say, this has, all these specifications. Some of it I understand, some of it I don't. They have very nice pictures. Sometimes even they have brand names that I start to recognize. But overall, this is very foreign to me. So I am looking for more marketing, more information, different ways that the information is presented, because some of the specs don't make sense to me. And I would argue that some of our houses, even if people are familiar with houses, they live in a place where basements are common, where crawl spaces are common, where when I say the word stem wall, they look at me like, can you just, what is that exactly? Insurance, taxes, they're very different. So buyers need more. than just the description and the pictures. It is why I started this YouTube channel, because I saw the changes in the market and I said buyers are going to need more in the future, and my listings are going to need a place where buyers are going to get that information. I will tell you, I believe very much in marketing, and I think that, again, if it weren't useful, you wouldn't see it anymore anywhere, because we have Amazon, but somehow it lives on. Keep in mind, if people are coming down here and they have 3 days, they're going to see 4 properties or maybe 8 properties, but they're not going to see 50 properties. So you need to get on that list. You need to make your property exciting enough that they want to see it. I'll give you another example. If you've ever been in a clothing store at a time where you think, I really could use some more shirts, and you look through the racks and there's a shirt that you like, but you're too lazy to try it on. Has this ever happened to you? I don't feel like trying this on. Buyers are the same for houses. Even when they want to buy a house, even when they're ready to buy a house, now they can do so much research online. If they're looking at it and they go, oh, it's not quite right, I don't feel like going to see that. Even if they're local, it's harder than it used to be to get them actually in the houses. Somehow over the years, realtors finally convinced customers that staging your home and preparing your home, that has become much easier. I can convince most sellers. They know they have to leave for showings. They know that neutral colors are better. That has come around, but we are still crossing this bridge into people shop online. I mean, they really shop online. Yes, they are probably going to see it before they close, but you have to get on their top list for them to see it at all, for them to take real interest. There's so much you can do with that. There's virtual staging, there are walkthroughs, there are videos, short form, long form. The more you can get the house out, the more you can get it in front of people, the more interesting it is to people, and the more demand you can create. Another way you can look at that is, if you've ever heard that people learn in different ways. I see this all the time when I work with buyers. I'll have, especially if there's a couple, you'll have 2 people. One has read the description, has read every little nuance, and the other has looked at the pictures, watched the video, and that's all they know. Everybody learns differently. Again, you want to create the demand for as many people as you can, so you can't just talk to the people who read the description or talk to the people who look at a couple pictures. You want the whole package, as many people as you can get to see your property, the better. Now let's talk about price. As you can tell, I like marketing, so I'm going to tell you that list price is part of your marketing. And here's why. Most of you know that when you price a property, you are not necessarily going to get your exact list price. Right now, we're seeing people negotiate off the list price. Even in a seller's market, we saw bidding wars happen. But I will tell you, even in 2021, when most of the properties were going in bidding wars, there were homes that sat on the market because they priced them way out there, and they just sat and sat. Again, when you have buyers coming here, we want to get on their list. So let's say they're looking in the, could be any number. Let's pick $800,000. Your house is worth about $800,000. But you say to me, and I hear this a lot, let's try 900. Let's just try. Well, a buyer up north looks at all the $900,000 properties, and if they have $900,000, your property is probably smaller or not as updated or further from open water, so you're not making it on their list. If they're looking in the 800 range, they're not looking at your property, because the ones in the 800 range, they might look like your property, but they're $800,000, so that $800,000 looks better. The main goal is to get on the right buyer's list. Now, if you're in a market segment that there is high supply right now, which there are certain segments where we just see so many properties for sale, this gets even more competitive. You need to price your home competitively because you need to get on the list. And if there's 20 homes in the $800,000 range in the same neighborhood, it's much tougher to get on that short list. but that's what we're aiming for when we price homes. Now, when the market was a little different, I will tell you, if you priced your home at $900,000 and it was really worth $800,000, and there were 6 homes that would likely sell ahead of you, those 6 homes could sell, and then boom, that's how prices go up. But in a more balanced market, you're likely to just sit there, or in a buyer's market, you're likely to just sit there, and as prices go down, or when they stay there, your home starts to look stale. We all know buyers start to go, what's wrong with that one? Why has that one been sitting longer than all of the others? So that's something you want to watch out for, and that's why I consider list price part of your marketing, because it's not necessarily true that your house is going to actually sell for the list price amount. It's more true that it's going to get people in, and then we negotiate from there. Okay, let's talk about commissions. This is a big one to talk about. There are 2 things that I want you to know about commissions. First, commissions are negotiable, and second, commissions are part of your marketing. I'm going to break this all down for you. First, let me tell you some of the options you have out there and why I say they're negotiable, because there are plenty of commission price points, let's put it that way. The cheapest way to sell your property is to stick a sign in the yard. Will it sell for the most? Will you get the most attention? Will you create the most demand? I would argue no, but you can stick a sign in your yard. If you want to get it on the MLS, and what happens when you, just to be clear, once you put it on the MLS, all of those third-party sites like Zillow, Realtor.com, they scrape the information off the MLS. So if you get it on the MLS, it'll put it all out to all of those servers. I do think, I'm not sure because I have an agent profile in Zillow, but I'm pretty sure you can just put for free your house on Zillow as a for sale by owner. If you want it on the MLS, there are some flat rate brokers. They call them limited service listings, and you pay a flat rate and then they will put it on the MLS for a small fee. Now, when you do this right now, you have to offer a buyer's agent compensation. There are a bunch of lawsuits going on right now that could change, but I don't think you can go down to $0 right now, but you can go down to $1. So you could offer, if you want to put on the MLS, you find the cheapest flat rate person you can find out there. Put $1 as the buyer's agent commission. I think that would be, unless I am missing something, the cheapest way to do that. You can also find realtors who offer discount commissions. You see them advertise low rate commissions. They're out there as well. Now, often what happens is when you pay a listing agent's commission, whatever it is, they pay a portion of it, or offer, I should say, they offer a portion of it to the buyer's agent. So how it works now there, again, a bunch of lawsuits, this could change, is the seller side, the listing agent side, pays the buyer side commissions. It is all negotiable. You can, it says on the listing contract, I'm going to pay the listing agent X amount, and then this listing agent is going to pay out the buyer side another amount. I have worked deals where I've made less as a buyer's agent, and I have worked deals where I have made more as a buyer's agent. And we're going to talk about that. Now, you might think that I'm going to sit here and try to convince you that you need to pay the highest commissions. I am not going to do that. I have met people like this before. If you are the person who is saying, I absolutely will not pay realtor commissions, I'm for sale by owner, I will do the limited service listing, I don't think real estate agents are worth it. I'm going to say something a little bit unpopular right now. That's fine. I'm kind of just sort of not going to fight that. I have known people like that. There's tons of statistics that show you sell for more with a real estate agent. I can tell you in my deals, I've had buyers pay me to work the for sale by owners and the limited service listings. I've had it all, and I've seen a lot of people leave a lot of money on the table. I could give you very specific stories, but what I've learned is there are just people who are never, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, they're just going to stick with what they believe, and that is fine. I'm just old and tired. I'm not here to fight it. However, if you are on the fence, if you've never really understood real estate commissions, if you just want to know like what is going on here, I will tell you, I think you have every right to ask. I think that if you are paying money for anything, you have a right to say, what am I getting for this? And expect things. You should expect service. You should expect some marketing. You should expect good marketing. So let's talk about how this works. I will tell you, I'm a full service agent. I don't really do discount commissions because I don't believe in that. I believe in marketing. I believe in bringing demand. I believe in doing the research. I believe in all of it. And in order to do that, I have to charge a certain amount in order to get all of that done and pay my own bills. So you should know all the different types of marketing costs, either time or money. We also pay out for insurances. We pay our brokers. Currently, we pay lots of fees that allow for more marketing. For instance, being part of the MLS, being part of the National Association of Realtors. All of this could change with the lawsuits, but the lawsuits are actually an interesting thing to make you understand. I'm going to use them very loosely to make you understand why I think commissions can be part of your marketing. I will tell you, I am not an attorney. The suits are all involving antitrust laws. I am by no means an expert on antitrust law. So while I am following these lawsuits, if you want to know more or if you want to know the specifics, by all means, do some research. But what they are saying is that it is possible in the future that as the listing side, you will not pay the buyer's agent. Currently, you only have to pay them $1 to put it on the MLS, and it could be $0 in the future. But let's examine that. As I said, I have had experienced buyers, and I will tell you, in this market, we see a lot of experienced buyers. I work with many more experienced buyers than first-time home buyers. I have worked with almost no first-time home buyers in my career. And that's not because I don't like first-time home buyers. It's just who comes to me, who I see a lot of. In fact, sometimes I think I would love to train somebody up and bring them into the home market and whatever, but it's just not what I see. So you could in the future not be paying the buyer's agent. And I will tell you, you'll find realtors out there who are like very upset about this, very worried. I am not. I think it's going to end up to be more paperwork for me, but that is the real estate game. I think like every 6 months they make me add a new page to the contract or something. At this point, I don't love it, but I'm used to getting paperwork added to my job. What I think you should know about it, I will tell you what I have seen. I don't think there will be buyer's agents who will work for free, because I don't know many people who work for free. Plus, we have a lot of expenses to pay. We have to pay insurances and our brokers and all kinds of things. So I don't know why somebody would do that for free. You may see buyers DIYing the process, but again, because we have so many experienced buyers, I think that's going to be fewer. And while you worry about your net that you're coming in, buyers worry about their net going out. So I actually could see a world where before these lawsuits get completed, where buyers agents are more and more having buyers representation contracts signed by their buyers, which we don't see as much right now. And those representation contracts will say something like, you know, if we find a house together and you work with me, if you see properties with me, you kind of like a listing contract. You have to work with me for X amount of months, and you will pay up to 2 or 3% commission. It's a fill-in form. So I'm not saying that's the amount. It's negotiable, but I'm just saying that it's a fill-in form, and that's what I see. So you as a listing agent could say, hey, we're only going to pay 1% out to the buyer's agent, and the buyer would then have to pay the other 2% or whatever. As we see that happening, you might, as a seller, say, great, I don't have to pay as much. That could be. But know that the buyers, you're worried about your buyers, your net, and the buyers are worried about how much they're putting out. So if you have 2 properties and the buyers on one side have to pay out 2% the same price and they're very close, no, the buyer is going to look at their net out. So just know that while it might seem on the surface that that is going to save you all this money, it might if the buyers are DIYing it, but it might not. And it may even detour some buyers if they have to pay, if all of a sudden there's a fee tacked on top, what they look at as a fee. Now, if everybody starts to do it, then we'll see prices change and we'll see that become more the norm. I don't know which way it will go. I can tell you, when I started in real estate, it was much more of a buyer's market than it is now. And we would see on listings bonuses to the buyer's agents sometimes. I'm not telling you you have to do this. I'm telling you I've seen this in my lifetime, where it would be like, okay, buyer's agent gets 3% plus $3,000 if you bring a contract before December 1st or whenever. Because listing agents know that the buyers come down and they have a list of 4 properties that they've looked online and, oh, these are the 4 or 5 properties. And they know the buyer's agent can say, hey, did you see this property over here? I've seen it. It's really good. We should go check it out. They know that a buyer's agent might be able to get them on the list, because we all want to get our listings on the buyer's lists. So I want you to think about these commissions on the buyer side as part of your marketing. And you can negotiate this to your blue in the face. I'm not telling you what you should pay. You should just think of it that way. You should just know that's how I think of it. Now on the listing side, same thing. You're going to get more service. You're going to get more marketing, or you should. If you are paying more in commissions, you should feel like you're getting what you paid for, in my opinion. I can tell you, and I'm trying not to make this like a huge sales pitch. I really want you to be informed. That's something I really work on my channel. But when I go on a listing appointment, I say, this is what I'm doing. This is what you'll get. So just understand that that's how that works. I hope that helps. If you'd like a free market valuation, please sign up below. Please contact me with any questions. I look forward to seeing you next week.